Alright guys, a couple little pro tips that I think help our race prep stand out a little bit different from other people's. So one thing that pretty religiously do is mark all the fasteners, right, with a paint pen. You see all little red marks, right? After everything has been torqued, mark it, because at a glance you can see if it has moved or not. Comes off super easy with, you know, just some brake cleaner and a Scotch-Brite pad, but that is one thing that I think really sets us apart from how everybody else does it. A lot of guys, right, they'll just grab the good old impact gun, just give it some Ooga Doogas. There's nothing wrong with that for 90% of applications, but for high performance applications you don't want to do that, because what ends up happening is typically we all give it some Ooga Doogas. We all know roughly how strong our impact guns are, but we don't know exactly, and we end up over tightening it sometimes, which stretches the bolt. Once the bolt stretches, it's no longer as strong and it can't clamp quite as hard as before, and once it stretches a little bit, it's a lot easier for it to stretch more. So that is one, you know, I'll call it pro tip for you guys. Alright, so one other thing that I think really sets us apart also is cleaning up fasteners to reuse them. So, don't know if you can see or not, but come on. Right here, right, these two bolts are for the brake caliper. Right, you can see all the Loctite on them and stuff like that. So I will run them through a die, just, you know, basically as a thread chaser, to just clean them up, you know, and to get rid of all that, you know, extra Loctite buildup. Right, doesn't take a lot to clean them out. So what happens is now the Loctite that I'm going to put on there is going to have a nice clean surface to grip on. Right? You guys wouldn't paint a car over old paint, right? You'd at least scuff it up. If not, take it down to bare metal, right? So don't put Loctite over Loctite. The other thing is kind of going back to, I kind of hinted at it with marking the fasteners, is everything on this whole car, every bolt, every nut, all of them, all have a torque spec. Use it. Again, if you over torque it, it will either A, stretch the bolt, or it'll start to gall the threads a little bit, and it starts to stretch the threads a little bit, which again, it won't let it clamp down quite as hard. So I think those are three things that really sets us apart and is part of why we have such a good finishing record. Right? These are little things that they don't take a long time to do, but nobody seems to want to do them. It's tedious, it's dumb, it's boring, it's not fun, it's not cool, fast, and loud, but it sure seems to work. So, just a couple little tips for you guys. And again, doesn't take very long. So,